welcome back. Today I have Helena Hunting. She is New York Times best-selling author, and I'm so excited to interview her again. She's my first guest to make a repeat appearance because I love her book so much.
Thank you.
And we had such a fun time on her first visit that we thought, why not? Let's do it again. So welcome, Helena. Tell us what's been new since we last saw you on the show. I feel like we just released a book and then we released another book.
I know. And that's actually exactly what happened. It feels like it was 2 weeks ago, even though it was 2 months, but that's a very short time to turn around for me. So I released, oh my gosh, and I have it sitting right beside me. I released Love Next Door, right there. There it is. I see it. And then I released, oh my gosh, why is that so hard? When Sparks Fly.
It's hard, right?
It is. I'm like, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. How do I do that? Yeah. So, and literally, it feels like they're back to back. But yeah. So When Sparks Fly released on Tuesday, and then during this release, I've been in proof. So it's like just the before you start putting it into the actual book format stages for Love on the Lake, which is the second book in this series. And then I go into copy edits for Starry-Eyed Love, and then I have another book and more books.
So
that's just what we do.
Hey, Lori Ann just said, hey, ladies.
Hi.
Welcome. So I pulled up, I know we're going to get to the juicy one here, but I got to ask you some questions about Starry-Eyed Love because you kind of held out on me last time. I didn't even know that existed.
Oh my goodness. I think I had written it, but I don't think we were in the content copy edit, any of those stages at that point.
Well, now we have the cover. I have it pulled up down below so you guys can pre-order. That's going to come out in May of 2022.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and I'm very excited.
Love the cover of that. I have it pulled up.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm so excited, and it's so purple. It's so, and
I love purple. I love purple.
Same favorite color. And When Sparks Fly being purple and pinkish and all that, they make me so happy.
Your colors for this were my absolute favorite, and you sent me the lip balm, and I use it every day. And
good.
One of my author friends the other day said, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a lip balm that goes with my book." And she's like, "That's a thing?" I said, "I guess it's my favorite."
It's a thing. I'll send you lip balms for everything if you want, because I have a whole drawer full of them. They make me
your box still up there, my favorite. People ask me about that all the time when they come to the studio. They're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's my favorite box. It's purple."
It's the purple. Purple just makes me so happy. I don't know why it makes me so happy, but it really does.
I was actually in Alaska when that box got delivered, and I always
you were.
My doorbell ring. I was like, "What's he bringing?" And I was zeroed in on "What's this purple box?" So my aunt was watching the kids. She says, I can't even open it. It's too cool. You got to unpack it when you get home. She goes, "I can't even ruin it for you." And I'm like,
"Oh my goodness."
She's like, "It's the coolest box you've ever gotten." And I'm like, so it's coming home to Christmas.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I love those boxes make me happy. And packing them.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's up on my thing."
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I'm so glad that you kept it. That's so awesome. And that it was survived it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that it survived the mailing process. That's good. Because sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's
a little beat up on one side, but you can't see it how I have it up on the shelf.
Oh, that's perfect then. Good.
Yeah. It's a great little addition in the studio. Awesome. So I know other people are going to be like, "Well, how do I get these boxes?" Because I know you do some really fun giveaways and stuff on Instagram.
I do.
So everybody can be following you over there. What's your handle?
At Helena Hunting.
Okay.
So just my name at Helena Hunting, and you'll find me over there on Instagram and in IG. That is the same thing. Twitter and I'm even on TikTok, but I'm struggle. It's a struggle bus for me.
I'll tell you after the live. I'll tell you something cool about TikTok.
Okay, good. I love it
because I just discovered something really cool.
Awesome! Ooh, secrets. I love those.
It's good tea. So Starry-Eyed Love, I put that up. You guys can pre-order that. I know Lori Ann says I'm always late on ordering them and they sell out. I'm a total slacker. Is she talking about the boxes?
Yeah. So
Okay.
last year when Little Lies came out, so it's like a very angsty new adult release under my like other pen name H Hunting, and I did a box specifically for that, and I only had like a certain amount that I could do, but every once in a while I'll be like, I'm gonna give away a box of something, and then I'll put them in that fun pretty box. But I have stuff coming later this year, and like boxed stuff that I'll be able to talk about probably in the next month or so, which I'm very excited about. We've got like a whole bunch of really cool new things that we're going to do.
Awesome. So Starry-Eyed Love, that is, can you, there's no description on what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so I can. So in, I'm going to struggle to do this the entire time. In When Sparks Fly, so Spark House is an event hotel, and it's run by three sisters. And the first sister is Avery Spark, and this is her book. And she has two other sisters, London and Harley. And London's book is Starry-Eyed Love. So they're all standalones, but they're interconnected in terms of they're set in the same world. So they're all set with Spark House as like the backdrop. And London's story is a little bit of like a Cinderella story. And I think I could talk a little bit about it. I'm super excited about it, actually. So there was, and I'll tell you how like the way we came up with the idea for the story is I went out for drinks with a friend of mine. Like we would go at once a month, and her and I were just sitting and we were talking, and I'm married happily, right? And some guy came over and he was going to give me his number, and I had to stop him because I was like, and I didn't have my ring on. I don't know. I just didn't, it wasn't on, or I'd like worked out earlier that day and I don't wear them when I do that because lifting weights and rings is not fun. So I had to stop and be like, oh, I'm like super married and I have like a 13-year-old. Like, I think this is a no. And I felt bad because like, I mean, anyways, so that is like the setup of the story is taken from that one moment. And so she meets this guy and she turns him down, and then they meet again, and then it's like game on, right? So I'm very excited for Starry-Eyed Love, like so excited. And London is kind of like a little bit in When Sparks Fly. She's she's like protective of her sisters, and they have a bit of a history in terms of they lost their parents when they were younger, and so London is very much a protective sister and really wants Avery to be okay, and so I got to write her story, and Harley's story is going to come after that. So I'm very excited.
I was just hoping. I was going to ask you that if she was. You know, you didn't really dip into them too much in When Sparks Fly, but I really loved all the characters, and I know we can't say some of the things that you wrote in here, but they're so funny, you guys. I was cracking up reading this. My husband would look at me and go, "What are you laughing at?" And I would read him things, and he would laugh too. You guys, we were just talking about this before we got on the live, you guys. I want to make sure I tell you guys this because it's so important. You know, life is so heavy. We all have so much going on, and this world is just such a crapshoot right now, right? And we all need to curl up with a good rom-com, a little bit of seriousness in here too, but just something that can just make you laugh and take you away for a little bit. And
sometimes you just need the escape.
Bring your spirit up and like lift you up. At the end, when this book was done, I was a little sad. I was like, I want to read it again. Like, it was good. So luckily I have a good Helena Hunting stockpile going. So
good.
To read. And I actually found one of your very first books the other day. I like to go thrifting a lot, and there's this really massive bookstore. And this was, I think, I don't even know if it was are all your books traditionally published?
No, so Puck series is not, and I've a probably, I think There's more than 10, I think that are.
Self-published one, and I found it in a random bookstore. I always look
Which
in the
one?
H section. It was
What
the
book?
Wings one. It was
No, Clipped Wings is traditionally published.
Clipped Wings. Okay.
Yes,
It
yeah.
was
Clipped
the
Wings
very
is
first Clipped Wings, and I thought, oh wow, okay, I don't have that one, so I'm just gonna grab it.
It's very angsty, and if you don't have inked armor, you need to tell me, and I'll send it to you because it's a duet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have
Clipped
that.
Wings. I'll send it to you. Clipped Wings ends on, so this is before duets were popular, and it ends on like a massive cliffhanger. Like, oh my goodness. And it was
maybe somebody got mad and they took it to the
oh, I'm sure they did. Like, I would have been angry. No, they don't. They don't.
They're lost, I think, my gain, because I was like, yep, this is coming home with me. I know who this author is.
I will absolutely send you
the best treasure hunt that day.
That's awesome. Yeah, but it's angsty, like very angsty. Like it's
I read everything now. I mean, I have so many different authors on the show that I will read sometimes really heavy things, and then I'm like, I need a good rom-com now. And then I'll be like, all right, I need something a little serious. And then I'll be like, nope, gotta go back to a nice comedy, fun,
just something light. Novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were just talking about that, how, and those of you watching in the comments, I see you guys commenting. Be sure to comment who your favorite author is right now. What are you reading? What's a good escape for you?
Yes.
Because it's so nice to get those ideas. And also, when Sparks Fly is 53% off right now, I have it pulled up in the carousel. You guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's $7.99.
Oh, the ebook is $7.99. Yes.
Oh, the ebook is $7.99.
Yeah, that's not the paperback.
This is so good. You can grab it. I don't have my Kindle sitting here; it's by my bed. But you can have it on your Kindle or your e-reader, whatever you use. Have it immediately. I mean, you'll need this book. I read it on a Friday night.
Thank you.
We talked about that, how I have a really full, busy week. And then Friday nights are like, this is my time now. I need some like just relaxation. And so this is a great book to just relax with. And a little bit of serious issues in there with, the parent story that was, sad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was so much happiness in there too. And I love the sportiness of Avery. She wasn't a girly girl.
No, she's very she's an athlete through and through, right? And that whole team mentality and working as a team. I'm not sporty. Like I can run, I can put one foot in front of the other, but if you throw a ball at me, I'm gonna duck every single time. And and if I do catch it, it will be an absolute surprise. But it was really fun to write a heroine who is like an athlete, because that team mentality of like anybody who plays team sports, like you really have to work together, right? And so that sort of shines through in her role in Spark House. So she was super fun to write.
Yeah, this was great. So this just came out this week. Happy Pub Day.
Thank you.
Feels like you. Oh wow, we have some great comments. Kindle customer said, I read Helena Hunting and Deborah Anastasia. I'd like a crossover with Pucked and Mercy.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. So Mercy is like super angsty. So he's like the hero is like has a skeleton tattooed on his face. Like he's an intense dude. Then Pucked is like hockey rom-com, like in the nth degree. So this is romantic comedy, but like Pucked is next level. Like it's high level ridiculousness. So I feel like if Alex walked into Nix's pawn shop, that would be an exceptional moment. That would be a lot of fun to write.
We'll write that down. And then somebody said, throw in some Beast too, please.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Beast because it is absolutely probably one of the most hilarious things in the history of the universe. And the original cover makes me laugh so hard. So it's this guy who takes these protein shakes every single day, and his mom gave them to him as a kid. But they had side effects. And so the side effects are abs, literally everywhere. So he has like abs on his biceps, and abs on his face. And abs, like literally abs everywhere. When he stops drinking anyways, I won't tell you the whole story because it is probably the funniest. It is so funny. I laughed so hard and it's hilarious. And it's just
So
abs
you had the
everywhere.
most funniest. I mean, you're just so. I feel like we're so similar. We talk in sarcasm. Sometimes I'll say things to people in public in passing, and they're like,
"What?"
That's the language I speak. So when I read your books and you toss that in just randomly, I'm like, it's like she's my spirit bear.
Thanks. I feel like
it'll be the random funniest comment. Okay, you guys watching this, what are some of the funniest things that Helena has said in her books? You guys can say it in the comments.
Yeah, they can. You probably won't be able to say some of it.
But they're like just so funny.
The opening scene of When Sparks Fly, I went down I don't know if you Googled hobby horsing.
I did.
I don't know.
Had to go.
You did.
Fell down a rabbit hole, and I'm like,
you see,
what?
like it's an actual thing, and like in Finnish, like it's like it is a sport, and mostly it's like teen girls who compete, but there is a dressage competition, and it's like adult dudes, and they are dressed like they are ready. It's like they are competing, and it is intense. And I was like, I need this. This has to happen.
Yeah, this
like
has to be. Yeah,
it is. It's a thing, and and it was
when you wrote it, I was like, did she just? Is this what I think it is? And I Googled it, and I'm like,
you were like, it is.
Now I'm invested, emotionally invested.
Well, how do you not get emotionally invested in a couple of guys jousting with hobby horses, right? With stuffed horse heads. And I mean, at least there's a little bit of protection because the stuffed horse head is a little softer than the broomstick. But yeah, I mean, there's, it's a real thing.
I loved your steaminess in this one too. It was just so good. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'd be like, my husband's like, now what? And I'm like, do you just want to read the book? And he's like, no. I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you
do. There were, I have to watch it very carefully what I say right now. There were some conversations specifically around her situation and her singular-handedness.
Yes.
And in my reader group, if you go to my reader group on Facebook, I have a real conversation about this. And I was like, you need both hands. You need both of them. If one of them is broken, it's really hard to manage all the situations. There's more than one situation to manage. And that's all I can say about that. And I feel like I'm talking in code right now.
My favorite part was when she said what she said, and then he said, say it again. I wasn't ready.
Right? Yeah. He wasn't. Woo! He was like, wait a second. Back the bus up. Okay, now ask again. Yeah, right? And what a moment.
I'm telling you, you guys have to get this right now and read it right now. Don't even get the real book. Just get the Kindle version. Just
don't get the real book. Just the Kindle version. Whatever you need to do. Just get
beautiful. Like the real book.
It's so pretty. It
really is. It's all my favorite colors. It's been sitting propped up on my thing for 2 months now because it's my favorite colors.
Makes me so happy. The colors make me happy. This is when I get to be like, ooh, I like purple. Oh, I like pink. I would probably do all colors. So we'll come up with concepts, depending. So if it's like an indie cover, like it's self-published, those are mine. But when they're with publishers, like we'll have conversations about kind of what we want it to look like, and so I got some feedback. I got to give some feedback and some input on When Sparks Fly and Starry Eyed Love, and I love them both, and they're just gonna look so pretty together on shelves.
Well, whoever did your covers needs a raise because they're so good.
She's amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, I've worked with some amazing cover designers, and I feel very, very fortunate.
Very good. Yeah. I am just I am in love with this. I also loved I want to talk about the one you just put out because that was really good too. If they missed it, Love Next Door. And now you have Love on the Lake coming, and you've got your, do you have a cover of that yet? Or I saw you
I do. It's not up right now, but it's on my website. And it has like a similar vibe, except it's like night sky, and a couple on a dock. And I just finished the proof version of this, and I love Aaron and Tegan's story, and I love their journey, and they are it's a bit spicy
Oh, is it more than Love Next Door? Really?
It's a bit spicier than Love Next Door. I would probably more on like When Sparks Fly, or like A Lie for a Lie. That's so like a little bit closer to that.
So March 15th, 2020 on that one.
Yeah.
And that'll be a good one too. And then so what's been new in the past 2 months? What have you been working on?
Everything. So
all the things.
So this is like the month of edits. So I have so Harley.
How do you feel about that? I mean, is editing the worst part or the best part? What do you think?
It depends. Content edits are my least favorite, but also the most rewarding. So I started a content edit for Harley's book, which is set to release in 2023. And so so it's kind of like it's a ways away. But the first draft was like 80,000 words or something like that, which is about 300 pages. And then and when I passed it over, I was like, I know this needs more. So, and then I did first round of content edits, and it's over 100,000 words now. So, and when I got to the last couple chapters, I was like, I'm going to go light on the edits on the end, because I don't know how much of the end is going to change because of how much I've added to the story. So like, read it over, like see what I did, and then we'll fix it up at the end. We'll fix the end at the end. And then I had the proof of Love on the Lake, and then I'm gonna jump off. I'm using my earpods off, like they jump out of my ears. It's like literally try to jump out. And then I have my copy edit of Story I Love, and then I'm gonna finish a self-published book that people have been asking for like they've been
about that yet?
I sure can. Sure. And I've been telling
I'm gonna take notes. When is this coming out?
So I need to finish it first, but it won't be coming out until sometime next year. And after the first two releases, that's pretty much the most vaguest but most definitive date that I can give. So I wrote a book. I wrote this book. I wrote Little Lies, Underage Hunting, and so that I've been asked, like, when am I going to release the next book? So I'm writing the next book, and it's taking more time than I thought it was going to take, because it's really long. It's already 111,000 words, and like most of that's long for me, and it's not done. So as soon as I'm finished all my other edits, I get to finish that book off. But it's Maverick, who is the middle son for Alex and Violet from Pug. So it's like next generation, and it's angsty, and it's like and steamy, and that's good.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
I'm
awesome.
very excited about it.
We have a lot coming down the hopper for you, and good stuff. I mean, you are a machine, Helena. You are just unstoppable.
I feel like sometimes I feel like I need to just chill out and watch some Netflix.
Speaking of, what are you reading lately?
Okay, so I just was told by some friends and a bunch of other people that there's like this Minotaur shifter romance, and I picked it up because I needed to know what it was all about. And then I have some like books like that are waiting for me. One of them is an arc by one of my favorite authors, and then I'm very excited. Tijin I don't know if you've read Tijin, but she's like awesome, and she does a lot of new adult, and she's really great at the angst. And she has The Damaged coming out in March of next year, and so and it's like the second book in a 3-book trilogy, and I'm very excited for that. So yeah, so lots of books on my radar right now, and I just as soon as I can get some stuff off my plate, I'm gonna dive in. But this Minotaur romance, I'm very interested in, and I'm like, I'm a big.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm a big paranormal like romance fan, and so I love J.R. Ward and I love Karen Marie Moning, and so I'm seeing like all of this paranormal romance stuff coming up, and being talked about right now, and it makes me want to just like dive into all the paranormal stuff out there.
You know, I've been really thinking about reading some of those too. I've been hearing a lot about those, and everybody's saying, J.R. Ward, have her on your show. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh my gosh. She's amazing. Like, she's like a unicorn. If I met her, I'd be like, I don't even think I'd be coherent. I just feel like I would just stumble over all my words, and I would be embarrassing. But I
do that sometimes, but I'm really good at hiding it. Inside, so I'm dying a little. I'm like, oh, you're really cool. And I don't think that I kind of just go with it and smile.
Yeah. So I met Larissa Ione when I first started writing, and like I love her books, and she does paranormal, and I was like so awkward. But I got like a picture with her and everything, and I was like, I felt so bad about how awkward I was.
She probably was the same with you. She was probably
she had an established career, and I was like, I just published like my first book, so I don't think so. But like it was but it was like I couldn't contain my excitement. I was like a really fizzy pop. That's what I felt like when I was talking to her.
I bet people feel that way with you. When you go to book signings, is that weird? I think it'd be really weird sitting at a table wanting people to sign my books. But I would probably do it, but I'd probably be like, they want to see me? What?
It's very different, because I'm like a very socially anxious person. When I like go to big events, I need Deborah Anastasia, who they were talking about, who wrote Mercy and Drowning in Stars. And if there's ever a book that you should read that's like a new adult, young adult, like it's beautiful story.
And so who's the author of that?
Deborah Anastasia. So
somebody just said that.
Yeah, somebody did. Yeah, she's like my bestie, right? Like, so we have like lunch together on FaceTime most days out of the week. Yeah, she's my person. So when we go to book events, like I won't leave my hotel room unless she's there, because she's like, she can literally talk to any human being and have like the most eloquent conversation, and I'm like,
so awkward. I always say
dry mouth and like nerves, and I'm like, oh, how sweaty am I? Like,
yeah, my husband, his favorite thing to say to me is, "Don't make this awkward."
Oh,
because I'm so introverted.
I feel you. I'm so same. And I just feel like I say things, and I'm like, oh, I said those things out loud.
Me too.
Will anybody remember that? I really hope not. Like,
no, they'll probably just identify with you.
I hope so.
I hope
so.
It makes us less. We're odd, but we're less pretentious.
Yeah, and I feel like the awkwardness is relatable, and especially now, like we haven't seen. I don't know. I posted this a little while ago, but when I had my hair done, and like everything's been closed in Canada for like a year and a half, and I told my
you said you loved her.
I did. I said I love you. I was like, oh, but like, I mean, she owned it. She said I love you too. So I was like, oh, and I can't text her because half the time her assistant has her phone, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do about this. Like, are we just gonna not address
something I would have done? Totally.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I told you I love you. That's next level. I took our relationship to another. Yeah, it was I was like, oh, I can't undo this now.
Yeah, but that totally makes you more relatable. I love being around real people. I like reading books from real people. One of the most dangerous things of doing this show, and people warn me about it. They're like, do not meet your hero. Don't do it.
Don't meet your.
They might disappoint you. And I'm like, oh. So my favorite thing to tell people when they want to tell me something bad about somebody, I'm like, just lie to me. Tell me they're great.
Yeah.
And so far, I've loved every author I've had on the show. So I'm
Which
lucky.
is fantastic.
All the heroes have been amazing. But I know that also authors are humans and fallible humans who are also going through a pandemic, trying to be incredibly creative in a space that is not very adding to the creativeness. It's from the creativeness. So we got to give grace, and we're all going to be a little awkward when we're let out of our pandemic life.
When we're out of our cages, it's going to be like, it's going to be intense.
We're like that dog that gets out of the kennel and runs in circles.
I feel like that's going to be me 100%. It's good that I have Deborah, because she'll be able to just like throw a weighted blanket over me and calm me down.
Wrap you up like a burrito and carry you like a baby.
I feel like I might need that a little bit when we're finally allowed to go and do things again. Are you wearing a Def Leppard shirt?
I am, yeah.
I'm so like, that is the best part of my day right there. That's
my
amazing.
First concert I ever went to was a Def Leppard concert.
Really? Oh my gosh,
it's gonna show how old I am, but it was in the 90s.
That's super legit, and I feel like I feel like I have an even deeper connection with you now.
And she probably does now because she's watching this probably. Sorry, Mom. But
did you go
away to that concert once?
Oh, did you? She doesn't even know that you went?
No, I don't think she did. Oh, there was so much drugs there. It was bad. It was really
bad. Oh yeah, a Def Leppard concert for sure.
I went. 16.
Oh, 16. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think so. I used to go to a lot of concerts, but I would go to like same Tragically Hip, and I write about them in like Puck. I slide them in.
You add a lot in there to things.
I do. I
love that.
Yeah, and the Tragically Hip, like Gord Downey, rest his soul, was like the most incredible live concerts. Like I would go twice a year. We would go all the time, and like if they were going to be around, we would go to concerts back to back just because they were so amazing.
Us too. I love concerts so much, and I miss them. Come back, concerts. Come back.
I know, right? I had Halsey tickets, and twice I had them, and then they had to cancel, and then
I had
I was like,
tickets.
Oh my gosh!
And it was also Bryan Adams, Bon Jovi, and something else. And my husband and I were so pumped. We got the tickets.
You were ready.
Just refunded, and which is probably safer, but
I know.
But
it's sad. I know.
I love music. So
same.
I wanted to ask you, some authors I'm figuring out have playlists. Do you listen?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just posted about it yesterday in my reader group. I posted like a song, but I listen. Like I have a YouTube music account. Like it used to be Google Play, and then they turned into YouTube Music. So I have playlists on there under Helena Hunting, and so I have a playlist for Maverick that's now 60 songs long, or more than that. Yeah. So I've added songs that my daughter's like, I've been listening to them for like ever, and she gives you that like 13-year-old teenager like, you're so not cool, Mom. And I was like, whatever. I like these bands. And there's a couple of, I guess that you would call them electronica on them, but there's like 2 songs in there where you're listening and you're like, oh yeah. And then it reaches this one point and you're like, what is happening? And then those are my like reset songs. And I'm like, okay, I was half asleep, but now I'm not anymore. Yeah. But so I have got a whole list of songs that I've been listening
I
to.
use Spotify, and I have so many playlists on there for
Yes.
every decade from the 60s to now.
Nice.
Or no, not 60s, 80s to now.
Yeah,
80s.
I
love 80s music. I love 90s music, but that's my generation. So
yeah, I grew up with
there.
Nirvana. Nirvana was like it. Like it was like when Kurt Cobain passed away, like that rocked us all. I was a teenager. That was huge. Yeah.
I know my son, he likes to wear like shirts like this too. And he'll wear them, and I'll be like, name 3 songs by that band. And he'll be like, because he doesn't know them.
Oh my gosh. So he wears
I put him on the spot every time. I'm like, name 3 songs by that band. And
he's like, I can't.
So he started doing that to me, and I can do it. I'm like, bam, bam, bam. And he's like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, I like music.
Yes, exactly. Right. I think I took my daughter when she was in my belly to a Cure concert. I was like 8 months pregnant. I went and saw the Cure. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. It's fine.
Everything's great. It's great.
Yeah.
It's
especially when you're 8 months pregnant. And I had like a water bottle as I was walking in, and I was like, do you need to take this from me? And he's like, no, I don't. I trust that it's actually water. And I was like, that's good, because like I don't think I can go 3 hours without hydrating. Yeah.
Michelle said, you release the playlist along with books. Chloe at least does on Spotify to match the books.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So some people will release playlists along, and like normally I would hold on to it, but since they're not going to get this book that I'm writing for a while, I figure here's the playlist. This is what I'm listening to right now while I finish this book off. It's going to be so long.
I had another author tell me she'll listen to one song on repeat.
Wasn't that me? I do it all the time.
I was thinking,
but I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
But I watch movies on repeat sometimes.
I would do that. Yeah, sometimes I'll do that too. I'll watch the same movie over and over. I've ruined songs, albums for my husband. Mm-hmm. He's like, can you never listen to that again?
My husband told me that if I watch A Spirit of Christmas one more time, he's going to rehome me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's serious.
It's been like 40, 50 times. I watch it all the time.
So do you have to send him out so you can watch it? Be like, oh, can you go do something for like an hour and a half?
In the comments, yes, I will. Sometimes I just watch it on my computer with my headphones now. But
that's a really great way to, right? Like first, I'm working.
If I ever want to clear the room and make everybody go away and have some time to myself, I'll just put it on the TV and they all disappear.
Isn't that amazing? That's such a great strategy. I feel like that.
I think I'm going to watch A Spirit of Christmas. And they're like, I think I'm going to go out with my friends.
I'm out.
I think I'm going upstairs.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Okay, what are you watching right now?
So I finished Clickbait, which was like so great. And so my husband tells me I watch feel bad TV, and he's right. I do. I like dark things. I like things that are like not. So I like Black Mirror, which is a horrible, like, oh, you feel awful after you watch an episode of that.
You need like, a good rom-com after that.
Yeah, you do. And then we just watched Sweet Tooth, which was it's interesting. It's about a like pandemic actually, and hybrids, and like these hybrid kids who are like half kid, half animal. But it's based on a 2009 graphic novel series, which I found really fascinating. And so we try and pick something that my 13-year-old can watch with us and feel comfortable with. And so I also just finished, I feel like I've like binge watched a whole bunch of stuff. Lock and Key, which was amazing. And if I was going to compare or like give a basis for Spark House. The house, like the house in Lock and Key, that is exactly what I would picture for Spark House. Like it's such a beautiful, it's beautiful. The setting is gorgeous. And then what else? And Lost in Space. That's, yeah, my daughter likes sci-fi, which I think is really cool. So yeah, so those are like the top things. And I don't know if I can say the name of this show, but it's S blank. Yeah, I don't know if I can say the name of it. Yeah, but BB Easton.
That's a really good show. Yeah, did you
44
watch that?
chapters about 40. Yeah, 44 chapters about 44. I don't know why I always say 44 men. It's 4 men. And it's a memoir, and she is hilarious and probably one of like the nicest human beings you will ever meet in the history of the universe. She's so great.
So did you watch that Netflix non-documentary?
So I've watched part of it, but I can't watch it when my 13-year-old is around. So I have to like put headphones in and like slide into bed and be like, I'm just hiding in here for right now. Don't look at the screen.
We watched that, and I was curious of what you thought of the end. You'll have to let me know. I just had another guest on the show that watched it too, and you get to the end. There's a second
season coming. There's a second season. They're doing a second season.
I sure hope so, because she.
Yes, they are. I believe like she talked about that. Did she talk about that? Yeah. I feel like she said that there's a second season. I think. Yeah. Yeah. I believe there's a season 2.
I have.
Maybe. I hope so.
I think. I get a lot of books in the mail, but
she's so funny. So Dying for Rain it's a trilogy, and it's like post-apocalyptic. Oh, bless you. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and it is like, it's serious, but she's like, her comedic timing is so fantastic. She's just such a funny. She's so funny, and she's like, and in person, she's also funny.
So. Okay, so you're working on edits, and you've got some good stuff coming for 2023. That's a lot of inspiring stuff right there. What's a day of writing look like for you? Are you taking any breaks? Do you just write until your word count's done or your editing part's done? What is your routine like right now?
So this week it's a bit different because it's release week. So yeah, everything is kind of like you're focused on releasing a book. But I did finish. I finished proofing a book this week, proofing is like the easiest, right? You're just kind of reading to make sure that there's no continuity errors and typos are taken care of, and that everything kind of lines up. And you've taken care of like all the big picture stuff that's already done. But when I'm in a writing phase, when I just get to write, usually I will sit down first thing in the morning. Like I'll go for like a physical jog, like run, because then I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to write until I get like 4,000 or 5,000 words. But I take so normally it's like 4,000 to 5,000 words a day is my goal when I'm only writing, like when there isn't a bunch of other stuff to take care of. But I take a lunch break, and my friend Deborah and I will like chat, and we'll do like administrative stuff and talk, but then I'll sit back down and like dive back into the edits or dive back into writing. So that's usually how it goes. So I won't be writing until October, but then I'm hoping that it won't take me too long to finish Maverick's book. But it's going to be a long one. It's going to be
it sounds like it's going to be really great.
I hope so.
What's your longest book that you've ever written?
This one will probably be it. Yeah. So Clipped Wings and Inked Armor, which is a duet, the first version, I did not have an outline, and it was 440,000 words, which is, And the published version is 2 books, and it's 220K split in between 2 books. So I like, oh my gosh, that was like a process. But then I think the next longest book is probably the Puck series. The first few books are like 105 to 110,000 words.
Are you a plotter or pantser or a mix?
I'm a plotter 100%. I learned after Clipped Wings and Inked Armor that if I don't have an outline, I'm just
You're
gonna
gonna write
wander.
40,000 words.
Yeah, which is not fun to edit. So I try not to do that. So after that, I just started plotting, and so I have like very detailed outlines. And I know a lot of people don't; they're not plotters, but I plot everything, so I know the structure of the story.
Do you write the whole book and then go back and split it into chapters on their point of views?
No, so normally I have like a chapter by chapter outline, so I know,
okay.
yeah, so I know whose point of view I'm going to be in before I even start writing the story, and I know where I'm going to switch. Now, I will say in Maverick's book, I had like what I thought was going to be like 2 chapters, and it's 6. It's 6 chapters. Like what I thought was going to fit in, I was like, oh no, there's way too much stuff to unpack here. This is going to take a lot longer to break down. And so, yeah. So, but most of the
process for that, do you use like a notebook or a whiteboard? I had one author show me her whiteboard and it looked like a crime scene thing. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, this is the coolest.
Yeah, so neat, right? Like, so, so I work in Word most of the time, and I will, I just like, I have a chapter, so I do like a character outline for each of them, and like who they are, what their family looks like, age, all like all that kind of stuff, like what kind of car they drive, what kind of music they listen to. And then I break it down chapter by chapter. And then when I am kind of done and I'm in content edit stages, it's in like a sort of like a, almost like a graph in terms of, or like columns. So here's what is in this chapter, and here are the things that I need to adjust or things I need to add. And then I usually have a 4x8 whiteboard, which isn't up on my wall yet, but I'll like write all my notes and connect people. And I had like a character, like a family tree almost, because I had 2 series that I married together to create another one. So I needed to have like who everybody was related to and how they were related.
Yeah, that is really interesting how you do that. I don't know how you keep them all straight. You have so many great characters and so much. I could see when I read, I think she's going to make more off of this. And I was hoping that you were going to make more off of the sisters. And so when you said that you were in London and, the more books, I was like, yes.
I'm so excited. I like London makes me so happy. Her story was so like, it was so fun to write, and Jackson is the hero and he's so great. Yeah.
It's a great setting. You don't really see a lot of books written in Colorado Springs, so that was kind of fun too.
Yeah, and it was. And I mean, I went to Colorado for Book Bonanza, which is Colleen Hoover throws that, throws it. She organizes it. And it was such a cool event and such a cool venue and such a cool place to be. And we spent a week and a half, my husband and my daughter and I, after just like traveling, and it was so fun, except driving up Pikes Peak.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Pikes Peak. We talked about, no, thank you, never again.
Yeah.
That was
the only time I've ever been car sick in my life. And I've been to Switzerland. Switzerland mountains are huge, and Pikes Peak is a baby. And I still didn't get car sick there. I only got car sick at Pikes Peak.
Why? Why would that be so different? Like, because
there's no guardrails?
Yeah. And are there guardrails in Switzerland? Are there guardrails in Switzerland?
It's been a long time since I went, but it was pretty.
I feel like I would blank it out. I would be like, I can't remember.
When we got there, we took a train for one. There's lots of trains throughout Europe.
Oh, that changes a lot.
And the trains go through the mountains. There's tunnels.
Yes.
And so we also got there at night, and we left at night, and our bus, it was like a trip in high school. And so we took like a lot of night bus rides. And so I think I slept through most of it. But
Yes.
Pikes Peak, I was the mother. I was like supposed to be the responsible adult in the car. And all I'm thinking is, we're just too close. We're just too close to this. There's no guardrail. There's just a drop off. And then dumb me, I Google all the deaths on Pikes Peak and I look at all the car wrecks and all the pictures. And I'm like,
oh no.
I did that as we were driving up.
Yes.
Not a good idea. 10 out of 10 don't recommend that.
No, I would no. That doesn't sound like something that you should do while you're driving up the side of the mountain.
Definitely not.
Yeah, but I would say no to that.
Yeah.
Things you learn, right?
I learned we don't Google things like that.
Not while we're doing them. No, after the fact is a good time to Google that and then be grateful that you're still alive.
Yes. And now I'm like, and I did take the train up at one time, but that was kind of boring. I do think I would drive, but I'm going to need some Dramamine or something next time.
I feel like that's reasonable. When I was in high school, I did a trip to Greece and I know we drove up the side of a couple of mountains and we were on a double-decker. Oh, we were on a double-decker bus and we had to turn around on the side of a mountain.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Any advice for aspiring writers?
Join reader groups. Like just stay connected with with authors. And I know that there's a lot of really great groups out there that have lots of connections with authors and you can, I don't know if you're on Clubhouse, but Clubhouse is like this forum where they have groups and you can listen in and you can ask questions. And it's such a great resource. And a friend of mine was like talking about it and I joined and it's been amazing. It's such an amazing resource. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new or you've been doing it for a decade or more. It for me has been, I've learned a lot on there. So Clubhouse has been really fantastic. And just keep writing. Just keep writing. Just keep going and put the words down. And that's the best motivation. And National Write a Book Month is coming up, right? NaNoWriMo. And that's another great way to connect with authors.
What a crazy month to have that. Could we have that in a boring month like March, not right before the
holidays? Right? Yeah,
I guess if you can write a book during that month, you could write a book any month, I guess.
Absolutely, right? I feel like if you can get most of a book written in November, then you're doing great.
You are killing it. That's right.
You are. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. Follow Helena here on Amazon. You don't want to miss following an author because then you might miss a book that comes out or something like that. And you can pre-order Starry-Eyed Love down below and grab her newest one. I just pulled it up in the carousel, When Sparks Fly. Absolutely just, I don't give a lot of 5 stars because, 5 stars to me means you're going to reread it again. And I would
Oh, thank you so much.
Definitely. This is like a spirit of Christmas. I'm going to, my husband will be like, again, huh? Thank you, Veronica. I hope I said your name right. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to tune in Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Central. I always have new authors every week. And thanks again for joining us, Helena.
Thank you so much for having me again. It was such an honor.
Awesome.